And I know another big area that you focus on is the whole issue of identity and how we see ourselves and lining up kind of how we see ourselves with how heaven sees us and how God sees us. Could you just share a bit about how you do that and how you'd encourage other people to do that?
Well, identity is so crucial because we can't consistently do what we don't believe we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking the Lord to show me lies. He took a phrase out of Genesis 3:11 where God asked Adam, "Who told you that you were naked?" And the Lord would take the phrase, "Who told you that?" and began talking to me. So I'd say something like, "I don't have the gift of healing. I'm a disorganized person.
Mm-hmm.
This area is hard for the gospel," whatever. And the Lord would say, "Who told you that?" And I would think, and I would realize it was my past that told me that. He said, "Steve, you get most of your beliefs out of your past rather than who I say you are.
Mm-hmm.
That thing has to get changed for where you're going."
Mm-hmm.
So we do teach on identity. We seek to help people to not deny their past, but just not to get their beliefs out of it, to get their beliefs out of what God says.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a strong person having a weak experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an organized person
Mm-hmm.
having a disorganized experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we keep our beliefs in what God is saying, even when we're having an experience to the contrary, it's called faith.
Mm-hmm.
And our experience will catch up to our beliefs eventually, and the gap time is called faith.
Wow.
Yeah, I think what a lot of humans think is that our identity comes from our performance, what we have done, haven't done, and we start calling ourselves by our past.
Mm-hmm.
And God said the only place we're supposed to get our identity from is what we were created to do, not what we've done. Because I used to argue with him and say, well, this is who I am. And he would say, no, that's just who you've become.
Wow.
But it's not who you really are.
Wow.
So he's not trying to get us to act like something we're not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
So to actually do what God's called us to do, we actually need to believe that he's created us to do it.
That's good. And you've been sharing as well about creating a prophetic culture,
Yes.
a prophetic environment, and again, speaking into others and drawing the God out of them, who they are. How do we go about that? How do we cultivate that environment in our lives?
Well, I think we first cultivate that by recognizing that if we want to be a high-level influencer, we need high-level beliefs that those who are in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody needs somebody in their life who believes in them more than they believe in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So a prophetic culture is not only seeing yourself according to how God sees you, but sees other people according to how he sees them, what he says they are, and that they're not who their past experience says they are. Again, we don't deny the past. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have boundaries at times in relationships, or people are not going to have equal access to us. But we understand that as we continue to believe in them, that belief in them is going to become transformational. And I'll say it again, great influencers have great beliefs about people. One of the greatest things we can do is to believe and see people prophetically, not just prophesy.
I think, most people already know what's wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so the prophetic actually begins to tell people who they really are in God's eyes, and teaching them that they are more than what they've experienced is just huge.
Yeah.
Because I think people aren't doing, as leaders, we used to think, well, the people aren't doing anything. And we thought it was a measure of their character. But really what we discovered, it was a lack of identity.
Wow.
People don't like to do something they don't think they can succeed at. And so a lot of people do nothing.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing with us. And thank you for the message that you carry and that you're kind of giving away around the world, because it's so powerful and transformational. So thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.